sweep and mop and make sure everywhere was clean. The guy decided to mop first before sweeping, and then this friend of mine says, "What's wrong with you? Why are you do? Is it not supposed to be the other way round?" Now this person didn't understand the concept of, the idea behind mopping first, because you have to sweep and get out the dirt before you wipe and clean. Okay, so how is it that you have a plan? Like I said, preparation. Okay, the plan for you to rescue those kids, what did it entail? Did you take into consideration the risk factor?
Exactly.
Did you have adequate intelligence as to the location of these particular girls? Because it's one thing for you to say, okay, you could have a group of people in one place, you could have the girls located somewhere else. Now, you might not know where the girls are, but you can decide that, you know what, we're going to hit these people, capture one or two of them, get the information out of them as to where the girls are. So you're looking at maybe a two-pronged plan. Okay, what was it exactly? We know that the military cannot come out to talk about these things very openly because of the sensitivity, confidentiality, and all of that. But that's why we're here, analysis, to look at whether it makes sense or not.
Because the videos of the soldiers who were lying helplessly without immediate medical attention was the video was crazy.
It was
They
embarrassing.
was helpless.
No, as far as I'm concerned, it was embarrassing. We're joking around.
Is it that the terrorists decimated the Nigerian army or something? I don't want to believe that.
In warfare, these things happen. Take note. Even the best generals in the world have according to history, have met some defeat at one point or the other.
So you're saying that the Nigerian army was defeated?
No, in terms of defeats, let's not. When I use the word defeat, I don't mean in absolute. There's a I'm sure you've heard the saying, like, winning the war, losing the battle, right?
Yeah, like the case of America and the Vietnam War. Up until date, they did not say that they lost the war, but they just left. They left because they had to be for
Because
some reasons.
it became too costly. The price before you go to war, you must be able to appraise what it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
All right, when you're paying a higher price, it's not worth it. Sun Tzu has said that already. All right, that he who knows himself and knows the enemy. Correct? So you need to know the information. So in terms of intelligence, it's across board is failing. Across board, everything is failing.
Okay, let me ask Prince. Prince, one of the things you find out is the fact that some person are saying that for what's going on is as though the political will is absent. It's like is absent because you keep hearing government in, government out. We'll do something about insurgency. We'll do something about insurgency. Funny enough, the present president today in 2012, way back 2012, used to tweet and make statements about His Excellency back then, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, that if he has failed in securing lives, he needs to resign and things like that.
I think it was 2014.
2014, but it started from 2012 where they occupy Ojota in Lagos and all of the protests and the things, different conversations. And now we're seeing these things. Is there a lack of political will for them to really, really handle insecurity in Nigeria? Or everybody is geared towards like, okay, for the sake of the next election, let me just be calm so that I will not hurt some people and do some things. Not forgetting also that President Jonathan at the time, at a point, he said that Boko Haram had entered into his government. Makes a statement like that. So is it lack of political will to really handle this thing once and for all that's kept us here?
Of course, the question you are asking, you're already answering it at the same time. It's not new. The late General Azazi first broke the news in Asaba in a security summit. And that was why some persons blackmailed the then president to relieve him from office. That as a former this and former that, as an NSA, it ought to have some level of a security decorum on how to pass information to the public. That was with blackmail. And too many persons, lawyers in the streets, lawyers in the courts, and everybody, analysts like us, many persons, hey, yes, he was wrong. Even if he has the information, he was wrong. It's not supposed to be police. And the pressure was high. And Goodluck Jonathan was a true Democrat. The moment he understands the public pulse, he acts immediately. And he relieved him. So, that same strategy, because of politics, you must pacify some persons. Because it's alleged that some section of the country have all the votes. They have a consensus vote. So if you play with them, you're going to lose election. So you see people start playing lip service for a serious matter that has to do with security. Now, where it becomes worse, it was when Buhari now came in. In the Goodluck Jonathan era, yes, people were already inside, but they were decoys. They were not known. But everybody knew that these persons are within our system. Because, for instance, the Louis Edet house in Abuja was bombed. That's the police headquarters. So there is nobody that will say that there is not an insider for that to happen. So when the then president said, these people are part of my system, talking about the government that he was, superintending over, nobody has information more than the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So he knew what he was saying. Now he snowballed to Buhari's regime, where it became an open and all for all, where people would have been arrested, tried, government gave them pardon, said they are no longer terrorists, and instead of sending them to go and learn trade, take them completely outside arms and reform them to function in a society as normal beings. They said they have repented and they now recruited them into the military. Well, yeah, these are in public domain. Nigerians cry, but the larger voice and people who had power say, no, it was the right thing to do that, because already they know how to carry these arms, so it will be better that they are, recruited into the military so that they will have the tactics that almighty Sambisa forest that nobody have the clue and the whereabouts of fishing out the Chibok. Bringing these guys in will help to rescue those girls. And that is what we are getting now today. Nigerians shouldn't sleep. We should wake up. These are not dreams. They are reality. Because all the moves that security people are taking now, the terrorists and the bandits are getting the information. And that's why they've been ambushing our troops. It's not rocket science. You must have an insider that will let the outsider know that my mommy kept her money under pillow A or B.
Funny enough, just to add to what you're saying, there's a post on TikTok. Funny enough, these guys, the bandits and everything, they have TikTok accounts.
Of course.
A while ago, one of them posted on TikTok, one of the persons that liked the comment was a serving personnel. A military personnel, that serving personnel is liking the post of a bandit.
Yes, I think I have a diverse opinion about that because it has been trending even on X concerning what you're saying.
It's troubling.
The usage of social media have different pattern.
Yeah.
A lot of persons who comment on social media don't even know what they are doing. I want to have my mind on that direction.
Okay.
Because you see, for instance, you just lost somebody. And instead of an emoji of crying, you see somebody just go and tap emoji of love. So that personnel in question might not, at the same might be, directly sympathizing, or he wanted to press something different. I've been finding it very difficult when I saw that TikTok, and it has been trending in a lot of persons' status and all the rest. So when I analyze because I've gone to the guy's page, I've checked about what he does. I've not actually seen anything fishy about him being in alliance. Maybe it was by my own conviction and my own thoughts. Maybe just one of those mistakes of pressing the wrong emoji as regards to the, because this ISIS now, you see, before America was making this that you must do this, that is an order. Implementing and say, oh, where did they come from? How did they move? What is a possibility? What is a possibility areas they could be within 24 hours, within 48 hours? We can do the calculation via other means with technology. Then with that, you'll be able to plan. So it's okay. Can we go to Okaka and block Okaka and go to Ekeki, block Ekeki, because these persons might be within Yenizue, PA, or Bansha, because it's just 24 hours, so they've not gone far. You must do proper planning. But you see, when you have an insider, even in advanced crime like the US, you still have the most, how much more, a porous and highly politicized system.
Okay, so let me ask Philip here. What do you think right now they are going through the minds of the Nigerian army, since the president has already given the order, but then they've gone, they failed? What do you think is going to be the next move? Although we are not saying anything for anybody to know the next move, but what should be going through the minds of the army now?
Look, well, like you clearly stated, all right, Prince Makake is here to give you the political aspect. I'm here to give you the technical aspect. Having said that, before I even respond to that, this will be linked to, you were saying something about political will.
Yeah.
It plays a lot. If you send me on an assignment and you do not give me the enabling environment, what do you expect me to do? What do you expect from me? All right? If the people who are giving the marching orders are suspected of being in cahoots with the people who are killing us every time we go out there, what do you expect of us? It's rather unfair. I'm saying it how it is. So, political will linking to the issue of moles or, internal elements, saboteurs. You see, this is serious business. And we need to be serious about it. We're joking around. What does it take to engage in warfare? Now, speaking of which, there are three things that has changed warfare in the world. The first is the creation of gunpowder in China. So before that, you had swords and all of those things, people clashing and fighting with knives and all of that. And then somebody comes one day, they discover gunpowder, then they now use it to make explosive, kaboom. Imagine the first time when soldiers saw the use of gunpowder. So it changed warfare. Everybody wanted it. The next is World War II, which moved from naval warfare, controlling the sea to some extent, to air superiority. So a lot of persons, air bombardment and all of that. And then, of course, even with the sea, it moved from those very huge warships to now aircraft carriers. And then submarines. So that changed warfare. The third thing now is terrorism. Infiltration of the public by unknown individuals. You don't even know them. The next person could be one of them. So how do you go about fighting a ghost? It means you too must become a ghost.
Exactly.
All right? So intelligence is key. Intelligence in terms of getting the requisite information required to take the war to them.
Just like what happened in Iran, like we have the Israeli soldier or something like that, who was a lady who was supposed to be in the Iranian, army or something like that. And then after everything was done,
infiltration.
She left. Yeah.
Infiltration. So, and I was going to go to that. All right. So you have the intelligence aspect where you're infiltrating them. Then there's also counterintelligence. ensuring that they do not get into your own organizations. Because he mentioned something very salient. How is it that you forgive former terrorists and you felt that the best place was to reabsorb them into the military because of their cognate experience? It's ridiculous.
Because I think some argue that that was a